Bitcoin holders, welcome back to another brand new video. Hope you guys are all doing well. You guys need to understand the next upcoming few months for Bitcoin will be insane. Okay, we're gonna see Bitcoin going much higher, as I've been telling guys many times. A couple months back, when we did see Bitcoin, struggling, when Bitcoin was at $111,000, and then ever since Bitcoin reached 111. Okay, a couple months back, it went down. Okay, a lot of people were saying, Bitcoin will never reach a new high again. 111 is the top because Bitcoin was struggling, right, for a few months. Okay, but then I told you guys to stay patient. Okay, don't lose faith for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will be going much higher, right? I told you guys that Bitcoin will be reaching, okay, a new high, right, to 120 to 130, eventually 150 to 180, to eventually $200,000 and beyond. And we have seen, right, Bitcoin reaching a new high, okay, of $123,000. But guess what, guys? This is just the beginning. Bitcoin is going to be going much higher. So there is, in fact, a fair few charts that I do want to show you guys in today's video that in the next upcoming few months, it's going to be an insane one, right, for Bitcoin. Now, I told you guys, okay, many times, August and September are going to be some, most likely some bearish times for Bitcoin. I do believe we're going to be seeing some ups and downs for Bitcoin, right, in the next upcoming few months. But understand in Q4, okay, October, November, and December will be some amazing times for Bitcoin, especially October, because we know October is one of the best performing months for Bitcoin. So let's talk about it, guys. Okay, so Bitcoin right now, guys, okay, is currently just below 120. Okay, below 120, and it seems like Bitcoin cannot reach above 120. It seems like every single time we do see Bitcoin going back up to this level of $120,000, it always just drops back down to the downside. Okay, this has happened 4 times now recently, right? You guys clearly see that for the past few days. Okay, which is fine. Bitcoin is pretty much just consolidating at this level, right? You guys clearly see that we are in fact seeing some very strong sideways price movements for Bitcoin. Okay, I feel like 119 to 120 is the price that we have been seeing for the past few days. But understand, guys, that yes, Bitcoin has been consolidating, but altcoins are on the move, as we all know. Okay, we have been seeing Ethereum pumping. Okay, Ethereum has been looking pretty good. Same with Solana, right? Look at Solana. Solana today is still continuing to go, a bit more high. Yesterday it was going insane, right? It was going crazy, and now Solana is back at, $205, above $200, which is, amazing to see. Okay, same with Casper, right? Casper is now back at 11 cents. If you guys haven't seen my most previous video on Casper, you should definitely check it out. But yeah, a lot of alts have been moving, guys, whereas, Bitcoin has not really been moving. Okay, and this is a strong sign, as I told you guys. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, okay, it has in fact been dropping. If we go to the daily time frame, right, you have to clearly see the Bitcoin dominance has in fact been dropping, still below 61%. If we go to the weekly time frame, you have to clearly see it is dropping down to the downside. But guess what, guys? We have to see the Bitcoin dominance dropping even more, okay, down to like the 50% levels to even 40% for alt season to happen, right? And it's already beginning, right? We are already seeing a lot of these alts, okay, the low caps, even the large caps, pumping pretty decently, right, for the past few days. So we're going to see the Bitcoin dominance dropping even more, which it will, and that's when alt season will go crazy. Okay, we're going to see a lot of altcoins going parabolic, guys. Okay, so the crypto market today, it's up over 1% overall, which is not too bad. Bitcoin is up over 2%. Okay, nothing too crazy today. But yeah, past 24 hours, we're not seeing huge moves. I mean, Solana's up 3%, BNB's up 4%. Okay, Hyperliquid's up 4%, Chainlink's up 1%. Same with HBAR, Litecoin is up 3%. So we are in fact seeing some, alts on the move today. Okay, you guys clearly see that for the past 24 hours, but some alts are not really moving today. Okay, I feel like a fair few memes have in fact been pumping as well. It's been looking pretty good for meme coins. Okay, and I do believe, of course, this alt season, we're going to see, a lot of these memes, right, going parabolic. Okay, like what we always see during altcoin season, right, during these bull cycles. We're going to see a lot of these meme coins going crazy. But yeah, look at the Bitcoin monthly returns. So far, we are up 12%, right? Almost 12% for this month of July. So So far this is still a great start for Q3 for Bitcoin, but I do believe, like I said, Q3 we're gonna see a lot of ups and downs, okay? Because like I said many times, August and especially September are some pretty bearish times for Bitcoin. So I do believe the price of Bitcoin in the next 2 months, we're gonna see a lot of ups and downs, but I understand after that, October is gonna be amazing, and I do believe November and December will be pretty good as well, right? November, it's a pretty good month for Bitcoin, right? You have to clearly see that. Okay, Bitcoin does usually perform pretty well in the month of November, especially October. So understand, guys, Q4 will be amazing for Bitcoin. I truly do believe in that. I do believe in Q4 we're going to see Bitcoin reaching highs of 150 to 180 to even $200,000 and beyond. It is very, very possible. Same with Ethereum. Look at Ethereum for Q3. It is up over 50% for Ethereum in Q3. This is amazing to see, right? Ethereum has in fact been going up. Okay, so absolutely amazing to see for Ethereum. And speaking about Ethereum, look at this chart for Ethereum, guys, right? Ethereum is ready to reach back up to its previous highs of the last bull cycle back in 2021. Okay, you have to clearly see that from this chart, and it's not just going to stop there. It's not going to just stop at $4,800. It's going to go much, much higher, right? We're going to see Ethereum reaching new highs. And I told you guys, I do see Ethereum reaching at least 8 to 10K. I think that is very, very possible. And there are some predictions out there. People are saying, Ethereum's going to be reaching, higher than $10,000, $11,000 to $12,000 to even $15,000, guys. So I'm glad I still have a bag of Ethereum. Okay, I do have a decent amount. Obviously, along the way, I'm going to be taking some of my profits. As I would DCA in, I would DCA out. Okay, there's nothing wrong with taking profits, guys. And with Ethereum, right, I'm going to be taking my profits for this bull cycle, right? I've round tripped my holdings for Ethereum. Okay, I do believe Ethereum is a great long-term investment. I really, really do. But ever since, as you guys know, I'm just mainly focusing on Bitcoin and Casper. And ever since I came across Casper, I just realized Casper's going to be, the next big thing. And I actually sold some of my Ethereum recently for some Casper, as you guys know. But yes, I still have some, Ethereum. And yes, I am ready for Ethereum to reach new highs. Okay, so I can simply just DCA out. Okay, so Ethereum holders, be ready, because Ethereum is about to shock the world. Okay, and it's going to be reaching new highs, so be ready for that. But yeah, moving on to Bitcoin now. Okay, so understand, guys, like I said, the next upcoming few months for Bitcoin will be amazing. We're going to see Bitcoin reaching new highs. Understand the top is not in yet. We're going to see some more gold candles happening for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be going parabolic, and I hope you guys are ready. Be ready. If you're not ready, be ready. And I hope, for the past few days, few weeks, few months, few years even, you guys have been buying some Bitcoin, DCAing into Bitcoin. Okay, I hope you guys bought some Bitcoin back in, all the way in 2022 when Bitcoin was, below $20,000. And that's when Bitcoin was really, really dropping, because of course we were obviously in a bear market, in a bear cycle. And that's when we saw Bitcoin and pretty much altcoins, right? The entire crypto market was dropping. So I hope you guys took that as an opportunity to buy crypto back in 2022 during that time period, even in 2023 to even just last year in 2024. Okay, I hope you guys bought some Bitcoin. I hope you guys are prepared for where Bitcoin is heading this year in 2025, guys. Okay, because it's going to be going parabolic. Understand, it's going to be going much, much higher, as I've been telling guys many times. Okay, so be ready. Okay, but yes, Bitcoin parabolic curve. Okay, it is finally coming. Okay, you have to clearly see this uptrend that Bitcoin has in fact been forming ever since 2023, literally the beginning of 2023 to where we are right now. We have seen this beautiful uptrend, this beautiful parabolic curve. Okay, and it will continue to go much, much higher. Understand, the top is nowhere near the top, right? So it's going to be going much, much higher. Okay, understand that, guys. Okay, the top is not in yet, and Bitcoin, we're going to see it go much, much higher. It's going to go parabolic. Okay, and it's going to be reaching price targets like no one imagined. Okay, because a lot of people think, right, we won't see Bitcoin reaching $200,000. Okay, but I'm telling us right now, it will. Okay, it will reach 200K. I feel like 200K is a an easy target for Bitcoin. There's people out there, right? Bitcoin is out there in the crypto space that are predicting Bitcoin can reach price targets of like, 300K, okay, 500K to even 700K this bull market. Now, as you guys know, as much as I am bullish on Bitcoin, I don't think we will see Bitcoin reaching those price targets. I think 300K is possible, okay? It is very, very possible, right? That's going to be like the most bullish scenario. But Bitcoin reaching 500K to, over 500K, like 700K, 600K, I don't think that's going to be happening this bull cycle. In the next bull cycle, yes, that's going to be an easy target. But this bull cycle, I don't think it will happen, okay? That's personally me, okay? Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below. What is your Bitcoin price prediction for this bull cycle? Let me know. I'd love to know. But I'm telling you right now, either way, we're going to see Bitcoin going much, much higher. And I do believe $200,000 is going to be an easy target for Bitcoin. Okay, 200K and beyond. Very, very possible. If you guys haven't seen my most previous video on Bitcoin, the last time I gave you guys an update on Bitcoin, I told you guys that Bitcoin will be reaching at least $250,000. So that's over 200K, right? To 220 to 250. I think that is very, very possible. Okay, so get ready, guys. We're going to see more green candles, gold candles, in fact, right? So understand, looking at this chart, what Bitcoin did back in 2020 to 2021 is looking pretty similar to what it's doing right now in 2024 to 2025. Okay, we know history doesn't exactly, repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Okay, it does rhyme, guys. So understand, this is just the beginning, really. Okay, it really, really is, guys. Okay, so we're going to see Bitcoin going much, much higher. And this chart is showing $250,000. It is very possible that Bitcoin, like I said many times, can reach this price target. It is very, very possible. Okay, understand that, guys. I would not be surprised if we see Bitcoin at 250 during this bull cycle. I would not be surprised. Okay, so be prepared for that, guys, because I do believe that is coming. Okay, so Bitcoin holders, be ready. I truly do hope you guys are prepared for this, because it's going to be an insane few months for Bitcoin. Okay, but yeah, as you guys know, I've been talking about this price of a home versus Bitcoin. As we know, guys, it's getting less and less and less Bitcoins, okay, to buy a home. Okay, y'all just crazy in 2016, you would just need over 600 Bitcoins, okay? Then in 2020, you would just need less than 100 Bitcoins, only 45 Bitcoins. And then in 2024, you would need, just 6 Bitcoins, 6.6 Bitcoins. That's less than 10 Bitcoins, right? So you guys can just clearly see, this is why, guys, I truly do believe Bitcoin is a much, much better investment than real estate. Okay, it really, really is. I've been talking about this for a while. I've even made a fair few videos talking about Bitcoin versus real estate, why Bitcoin is a much, much better investment than real estate. And yeah, you guys just clearly see why. Okay, you guys can just clearly see why Bitcoin is a much, much better investment than real estate. And honestly, Bitcoin is pretty much digital real estate, right? It really, really is. Okay, but yeah, the value that you get with Bitcoin versus, a home, real estate and whatnot, Bitcoin always wins. Okay, always, right? And I really do believe down in the future, since it's getting less and less, you would need, less and less Bitcoins to buy, a home, right? I actually do believe down in the future, you would need less than 1 Bitcoin to buy a nice home. Okay, I've been telling us many times, right? I truly do believe down in the future, okay, to buy a home, you would need less than a Bitcoin, whether it's 0.8 Bitcoin, 0.5, or just 0.1 Bitcoin, right? It is very, very possible, because as I told you guys many times, Bitcoin is going to be a digital asset, right, that will be reaching not just $1 million, because we know Bitcoin will easily be reaching $1 million. That's an easy target. Okay, I just want to put it out there. I'm pretty sure as Bitcoin holders, we all know that $1 million, it's going to be happening. If Bitcoin's not going to be going to 0, it's going to $1 million, right? Understand that, guys. So understand, okay, it's not just going to be reaching $1 million. It's going to be reaching millions of dollars. So $3 million per Bitcoin, right? $5 million per Bitcoin, okay, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. So understand, you would just need a fraction of, Bitcoins to buy a home down in the future. I truly do believe that's going to be happening, right? So this is why it's very, very important, guys, to accumulate Bitcoin. really need a full Bitcoin. Even though I've been telling you guys many times, it's very, very important to own a full Bitcoin, because you can do a lot of things with one full Bitcoin down in the future, like buying a home with a fraction of your Bitcoins. But take baby steps. Start with 1% of a Bitcoin. Get to 1% of a Bitcoin, right? 0.01. And then get to 0.1 Bitcoin, 10% of a Bitcoin. Okay, I truly do believe that's a big deal. That's going to be a good amount of Bitcoins to hold, right? Satoshis, 0.1 Bitcoin. Okay, it's going to be a big deal, guys. Trust me. Just stack Bitcoin. Just buy whenever you possibly can, right? Just save in Bitcoin, guys. Treat Bitcoin like it's your own savings account. Okay, because trust me, you would not regret it down in the future. Okay, I'm telling you guys that right now. So that being said, I appreciate all you guys for watching today's video. I will keep you guys up to date on what's going to be happening with Bitcoin. But right now, Bitcoin is just below 120. Okay. But yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date. And yeah, I appreciate all you guys for watching today's video. Give this video a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to the channel. That is always much appreciated. And yeah, I will catch you guys all in my next one. Have a good one, guys.